everyone, it's your girl Gel Beat 87 here, and today I decided we were going to do a part one of the holiday palettes haul. So I told you I was going to rank all the holiday palettes I had bought, but holiday palettes keep coming out, and then Melt just announced that theirs isn't coming out to like the 27th on Black Friday. So I was like, we're going to have to do a part one and a part two because I don't want to keep y'all in suspense and have to hold on to all these palettes in the box in the room forever. I want to actually be able to put them back where they go and use them according to how I feel like using them. So I just decided we were going to do a part one and part two. Anyway, so the last holiday palette that you all will see in here is the Juvia's Place Walhalla 2 and the Juvia's Place Nubian Royal. Now I know I have the Trio Chrome because you all, or Trio Chrome, you all have seen that video over the weekend. So you all saw that Saturday. I'm filming this on my birthday Sunday. So you have seen that, but I just don't want to put it in here because I've only played with it literally that one time. I haven't even done like a palette mashup with it or done like a look with it for Instagram or anything like that. So I'm like, I don't think it'd be fair for me to put it in here and try to rank it. So we're just going to rank it the next time around. So I'm going to start off with the bottom one and go to the top. Let me see how many we have. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So we have 11 palettes. So let's get into it. So the one that's dead last is the Marc Jacobs Cheerific palette. Now, the only reason this is dead last, it doesn't have anything to do with the formula. It's just more of a color story because since he only has 7 colors, it's quite limited. And then I have this shade that I'm not going to use. This shade that isn't the shade I thought it would be. This lighter shade that I'm not really going to use. So I'm really stuck with just a whole bunch of berry toned colors. And as we know, berry tones aren't really my strong suit. I want to try out something different for the holidays though. So I figured I would try out this palette. But it leaves something to be desired. So although the color story is nice, it just gives you really limited looks. And at the end of the day, for like 50 bucks, I feel like I need to have more looks than just like 2, because y'all saw the 2 looks I could do. Well, you saw one of the 2 looks I can do. I made a video using this palette doing a second look that you all should see, I believe at the end of November, the beginning of December, something like that. Y'all have stuff pre-filmed to the point where I could like not film again till like Christmas Day and be fine. It's that ridiculous, but I always try to stay ahead so that way if I'm not feeling inspired, that you all still have something to watch. So the next one I have is hold on, let me take it out of the box because a lot of these I still have in the box. Why, I don't know. I guess because I want to show the box packaging with it. But it is the Bejeweled Eyes to Hypnotize. And I feel like this should not be a surprise. Oh, look at the rhyme. No. But like, this is the inside of the palette. I wasn't really that impressed with this palette. I guess it's because these are colors I feel like we've seen from her before. Like I have the, what is that thing? The Pillow Talk. And I feel like a lot of the colors from the Pillow Talk, like half the colors from Pillow Talk are in here. Like these two and then these darker browns down here. Or was it these lighter browns over here? I feel like this half of the palette is more Pillow Talk. And then like this half is just like, oh, I'm going to add some purples. And it's like still more neutral. So it's like a lot of neutral. And then there's some red and some purple. So I feel like she played it safe with this color story. And I'm not necessarily excited. It looks like she just tried to take the one of the Star Wars palettes and make it a, what do you call it? And make it into a palette and just add some extra browns to it. Because it looks like that Dark Vader Star Wars palette from Pat McGrath from like last year when she did Star Wars thing or whatever, or was that this year? I don't remember, but it just kind of reminds me of that. And like, to me, her formula is hit or miss because sometimes I like her mattes and then sometimes I don't. And then her shimmers aren't really like that sparkling, impactful looking shimmer that I'm looking for. And I'm not one who likes to have to wet their brush and do a whole bunch of extra in order for the palette to look right. So, you know, that's why it's dead last for me. The next thing I have is another Charlotte Tilbury product. It's the Charlotte Tilbury, what is this, Luxury Palette of Pops. And of course, it's called Dazzling Diamonds. So open it up. And the outer packaging looks nice or whatever. But I honestly just bought this to compare to the one that Pat McGrath has, which will be ranked in here later on. But I mean, it's a nice palette for what it is. I feel like it'll go nice with that super blue palette I have because I could put this shade on top of it or put this, add this shade as a little extra pop for the blue shade that's in there, or use some of these bronzes and pair it with the other palette I just showed you all from her. Just pair this with some single mattes or something. So I mean, it'll be nice for that. It's just more of, you know, I wasn't that impressed with the formula. Like, I'm never truly that impressed with Charlotte Tilbury's formula. That's why I always be telling y'all, like, I feel like it's overrated for like what it is. Her and Tom Ford, I feel like both of them are just overrated for what it is, and like they need to stop. Anyway, the next palette I have is the Rare Beauty Magnetic Spirit palette. Now, I actually really like the formula of these. My only gripe with both of these is, you know, y'all know it's only matte because the price point is great. I mean, it's only shimmers. The price point is great and the color story is really nice. I mean, I like the other color story better, obviously, so it's going to be higher up. But this one, that, as you can see, is like, I don't know if you'll be able to see the shift in this, but it like shifts from like, I think it's like purple to pink or something like that, or purple to blue. It's a nice palette. It's just I like the other one and its tones a bit better, so you'll see a little bit later. But for the price, I think this is actually a pretty cool palette. I mean, I still think it was a bad idea for her to not put any mattes in them, but you know, it's her brand, she can do what she wants. So there you go. The next palette I have is the Juvia's Place Nubian Royal palette. Now this one is still kind of higher up because of this purple right here. Like this purple right here completes the palette for me. I live and love this purple right here. It is simply wonderful, and I definitely like having it in my collection. Now the reason this is so much lower down is because of this pressed glitter. I'm so tired of them and these damn pressed glitters. Like, we done told them, we done told ColourPop. I feel like we've told everyone to stop putting these damn pressed glitters in here. And what do I find? What a fucking pressed glitter. And it's like, it was after we told ColourPop not to put it. So it's like, did you this place think, oh, they meant that for ColourPop, they didn't mean that for me? No, motherfucker, we meant that for everybody. Stop with these goddamn pressed glitters. I don't want this shit at all. Okay, thank you so much. I don't want it. But it's a nice color story, and it's a nice companion palette. Like, it goes great with the Violets palette, or it goes good with the ColourPop It's My Pleasure and I Like You A Lot palette, because I like the shimmers in there a lot better than I like the shimmers in here too, which is another reason this one is lower down, just because of the shimmers in it. Now this one is a shifting shade. I think this one is as well, but this is more of a satin. And again, y'all know how I feel about satins. I don't see what their purpose is. I do not like them. I don't want to be bothered. So that's why this one is as low as it is. So we're climbing up there. We've got down to the bottom 5. Now we're going to get to the top, I guess 6 if you will. Let's see, 1. Yes, I got 6 left. So at number 6, we have the Wahala 2 palette from Juvia's Place. Now, as soon as I saw this one, I was like, why didn't they release this one first? So I could have had this one first and been excited, and then not bought the other one that I did buy. This one right here is wonderful. This shade right here is a great dupe for Sextrovert in the Pat McGrath's Divine 2 palette. And then there's another shade in here called Money. That's actually a good dupe for the shade in the first Wahala palette. In my opinion, they're close enough to where it's like, I don't know why they put this one in here too, but I guess if you didn't want to buy the first palette, if you like me and didn't necessarily like that color story, they put it in this one as well. Or maybe this is just one of their favorite flips, along with it being one of my favorite flips. Now again, my problem with this palette is the 3 plus glitters. You got 4 plus glitters. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's like, why don't people understand? If people keep telling you stop putting pressed glitters and stuff, stop it. I honestly wish that my the Adept Cosmetics pans were smaller, because I would pop all these out and just put the Adept Cosmetics shades that I have in here and call it a day, because I have a really pretty purple one that would go perfect in here, but you know, can't do that. The mattes in here work fine. I love the color story. It's just the pressed glitters irritate me, so that's why it's at number 6. Number 5, we have the Rare Beauty Confident Energy palette. Now, I like this one a lot, and I feel like we all know why. It has this green, it has this blue, it has this pretty gold, and it has this lovely inner corner shade, and it still has a nice peachy tone, and then it has like a couple of neutral shades for people who want to go into the crazy blue and greens. You can use like this nice little shade right here and here on. I feel like these are the only 2 pops of color in here, but I mean, it works for what this palette is. I put this one higher up just because I feel like with my Viseart Colorful palette, I would reach for it to go with this and it would work better. Whereas with this Rare Beauty palette, I wouldn't reach for my, with the Viseart palette, I would just, I guess, reach for this little quad right here and feel like it's more limited. So I feel like the, Magnetic Spirit is a little more limited with looks than the Confident Energy, which is why Confident Energy is higher up on the list. So now let's get into Final 4. Now, you noticed you have not seen one brand, but I feel like you all knew that this was going to be the brand that was like on top. I just feel like you knew. So number 4 is, what is this? Florida Fantasy from Pat McGrath. She always comes up with the best holiday collections. Like, I live for damn near any Pat McGrath collection. I mean, I was getting kind of tired of the roses this year, so I'm glad she calmed that part down. But, you know, this is what the inside of the palette looks like. I feel like this palette kind of looks like some of the stuff that's on my eyes right now, because I have a pink shade like this on my eyes. Even though this is a shifter, as you see in the mirror, it's orange right there. But you look at it right there, it's pink. So orange in the mirror, pink right here. But anyway, this shade right here looks similar to what's on my lid, except it doesn't shift. And then I have a couple of light pastel-y looking mattes to put on. Funny is the story behind this. I was trying to film it, and then the spider decided he needed to crawl up and sit next to me and try to crawl into my box over here. I have a box with the main chick, side chick stuff in it for eyeshadow palettes I plan on filming next week while Adriangameover and I are here. And the spider decided he needed to try to crawl over here and have a seat with me, and I was like, yeah, no. So then y'all didn't get the finished look, but I'll talk about what I did at the end of that video, I guess, or whatever. Anyway, this palette, I like it the least out of all of them. I just felt like she could have left this one out, to be honest, or like, you know, did something else instead of this, because that one just isn't a vibe for me, which is why it's number 4, because the quality is still great. It's just more of, you know, it's not something I would use. Plus that one matte peach shade in there isn't really going to work for something my skin tone. So that's another reason I was just kind of like, mother, what am I supposed to do with it? So I'm actually going to take this one home and just leave the other 2 here at my grandmother's house so I can film with them some more, because those 2, if y'all haven't noticed, you haven't seen yet, because they're closer to the top. So number 3 is the Interstellar Icon palette. So this is the one I bought to compare to that Charlotte Tilbury quad you all saw earlier, and I actually got to compare it to a Shantakai quad as well. But this is what it looks like on the inside. And again, look at the mirror. It's purple in the mirror, but then when you turn it up, it's like blue. So purple, blue. So it's a shifting shade as well. Now the thing is, this blue blood shade here is in the Decadence palette, so that's another reason this one is lower down than the other one, because the other one doesn't have any repeat shades. Not to mention the other one is made in Italy, and it's like I like that one a whole lot better, so that's why it's where it is. But the color story of this is amazing. We all know I love me a blue purple shifting shade. I actually really like this bronze shade just because it has these like gold and blue glitter reflex in it. The only sad part is when you put it on the eye, they don't really show up, so it just looks like you got a brown shade on your eye, and it's a couple of sparkles in it, but it's like I feel like you'd have to be in a really reflective light in order for the light to hit it for you to see those sparkles. So that shade was kind of disappointing me just because of that. Y'all know I don't care about this one. It's a boring gold shade. She puts gold and everything. So the 2 standout shades for me is this one and this one, because this one was disappointing even though I like it, and this one I already have another palette. So it's like the only shade that truly excites me is this one right here. But I still like this quad a lot more than I like the Florida Fantasia palette. So I mean quad, so that's why it's higher up. Now my favorite quad, of course, by process of elimination, you can see, is the Risque Rose. Now you think I'd be tired of this one since she, you know, has been giving us pinks all year long. Like, you had the Divine Rose, you had the Divine Rose 2, then you had the Rose Decadence, and now you have this cute little pink quad right here, Risque Rose. But this is my favorite quad. I think I like it because in the Divine Rose 2, I really want her to have a matte fuchsia pink shade like this, and that one is a satin, if you all remember. So I was happy that she came out with this one, because this one is a matte shade. And then you have this gorgeous shade right here. I heard this is supposed to be the new formula that she uses, and you can tell because it feels different than other shimmers that she has like this, and has had like this in the past. So I was super excited about that one. And then there's a nice little matte to darken the outer V for people who want to have that going on. And then you can pop this in the inner corner, or you can pop this in the inner corner for extra and have like a little subtle eye look by using these 3. So I think like this quad is the best curated one, if you will, just because she has a new formula, this really reflective nice one, since we didn't get any of the special shades. And then you have a nice vibrant matte shade, you have a nice little darkening outer V shade, and then you have this simple shade if you want to put on a lid and have a more boring look, if you will. That's what I would call it. That doesn't necessarily mean it is boring to you, but to me, if it doesn't have the pink in it, it would just be kind of a boring look, and I wouldn't personally most likely want to wear it unless I'm trying to rush out quick and I don't have time to be doing all the blending of the pink and all that. But we all know her shades blend effortlessly, so it wouldn't take that much. So of course we know what number 1 is, right? It's the Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity palette. So I've actually quite been enjoying this palette. One of you all commented on a look I had posted on IGTV, and I used this palette along with the Jackie Aina palette, believe it or not, because I remember I told you all that Morgan Turner was talking about how it would be a good companion palette to go with this palette right here. And I was like, yeah, it's a good idea because the color stories of them are really similar. I've already done a look with the palette though. You'll see that video on Tuesday the 10th, the one that the person asked me about. So if you're watching this, girl, it'll come up on the 10th of November. But this is what the palette looks like. So this is the Star Wars side. On this one, this is the gold Star Wars palette, and then this is the Stormtrooper palette, and then the new shades are here in the middle. But I'm really loving this palette. I'm loving the smaller pans. I love, I really like the packaging. Like, I like everything about this one. I think I mainly like the price of it, though, because it doesn't cost nearly as much, but you still get a decent amount of shades. So I'm liking that she took that approach. I don't know if she took that approach because Charlotte Tilbury, it worked out so successful for her, and she was like, she'll try it out, too. But, you know, I'm here for a mother. Like, you can come make some smaller palettes every now and again. Unlike the 6-pan, even though I do like the 6-pans just fine, especially since she changed the packaging of them. Like, I like the 6-pans way better now. It doesn't have the annoying packaging where it makes it hard to open. But anyway, so those are my rankings of all the holiday palettes I have so far. Like I told you all, we will have a part 2 once the rest of my things come in. I'm waiting on my Makeup by Mario ones. They're supposed to come in on the 10th, believe it or not. Then I have to wait for, of course, the Beetlejuice collection to come out so we can talk about that. And then I'm waiting to finish using the Natasha Denona one. So I still have more things to rank, so you can just stay tuned for that. But anyway, oh, let me know if you all want to see me use the BH Cosmetics holiday collection, because I was thinking about trying out the small palette that they have. I don't necessarily want the big one because that's way too big, but they have a little small $12 one that has like, I think 12 or 15 shades in it or something, and I think it's on like $12 on Ulta. So if you want to see that, let me know. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are dimes. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.